What's up, everybody? Jesus Esparza here, and I'm finally here in Santa Rosa. So I'm gonna start helping out my monster truck team with the Scatter the Skull Crusher team as well. I'm also helping out with the Triple B as well, with Stanley Hernandez and the others with Triple B. So yeah, I had never been to Santa Rosa. That's why I really want to come here, but now I'm finally here, and yeah, because I never been here, but this is my first time coming to Santa Rosa, and I can finally cross it off on my list. So yeah, sure is. I had to start checking to see the trucks, and they're gonna be ready for show one, and I'll catch you guys a bit. Here's a bit of behind the scenes. I want to bring you all here. And look, there's Velociraptor. There's two Team Throttle trucks are here, and there's Velociraptor, and there's Kamikaze. There's Lone Wolf here and USA 1, so yep, you know, that's pretty interesting. Yep, sure is. And there's my original team is right over here, so yeah. So yeah, there's Skull Crusher and a Scattered is right over there, so you know, just here, and there's Skull Crusher, and I'm trying to go through here, so yeah, kind of a little bit too a little bit, and they're Scattered right here, so yep, we'll be ready. Here's a track layout for Santa Rosa, and wow, this track looks interesting. I have never been here, so wow. Back a bit though. No, they're trying to get the dirt parts to try and get it flat, and sure is. Wow, this track is a kind of bit big, and pretty cool. You know, get ready for show one today. Okay, let's go over here, the other angle. So, and let's see here. Here's the other one, other view here for the obstacles, and yeah, that looks pretty interesting. And yeah, that field it's kind of a bit huge. Well, it's kind of big though. That looks pretty cool. Let's go right over here. Let's go over here, and then American Thunder right truck, and there's my original team right there. There's a mini monster truck. Juvenile Destruction. Here's a bit more behind the scenes. So, and there's Velociraptor, Kamikaze with Team Throttle, and two Triple B, and with Lone Wolf and USA 1. Pretty neat. And then Kamikaze. Yeah. Sweet. I want to go on top of there, so let's see. I'm trying to go on top of there, and then wow, this is a good view. All right, let's go inside here, and then wow, this is a very good view, and wow, looks very nice. Wow, the track, and so cool. All right, they'll be almost trying to get the trucks in the pit party in just moments, and yeah, really fun time in Santa Rosa, and do the behind the scenes and stuff. So yeah. Here it goes inside the track. A bit closer look. Wow, there's like this stack of cars. That's pretty cool to get some big jumps or something. Who knows? All right, the pit party is set here for Santa Rosa for show number 1, and yeah, looks pretty interesting. And we're getting ready for the pit party in Santa Rosa before showtime.
If you've got those pit party passes, now's the time to get on over there where the trucks are parked at the far end of the arena. We've got Lone Wolf down here flying high. We've got American Thunder giving monster truck rides, and all of our trucks on display today for you to get up close, take some cool pictures, meet the drivers. When you take those pictures, please share them to social media. Share them to our Facebook page. Share them to our Instagram. And hashtag West Coast Strong on all your shares or posts, please. We're in a competition this weekend. See who can get the most likes, shares, posts, follows, all of that good stuff. And we're competing against our East Coast tour. And Santa Rosa, you and I both know the West Coast is the best coast, so.
They had to go Lone Wolf truck back down, and ready for showtime. All right, the pit party's over, and now let's get ready for show number 1 here in Santa Rosa. And it's gonna be very interesting, and let's get the show started. All right, the track is set, and then let's get ready for showtime for show number 1 in Santa Rosa.
Afternoon, Santa Rosa. Thanks for coming out today. We consider this a participation sport. We are the Monster Truck Nitro Tour. How about a round of applause for your monster trucks, ladies and gentlemen? For your introductions, coming to you all the way out of Prineville, Oregon. This kid is the youngest monster truck driver on the planet. In a 1/2 scale monster, we call it the mini monster. Make some noise for Bryce Sieber! Sponsors, this young man, ladies, he is single and ready to mingle. He's a stunt driver in Gran Turismo, and he worked with Brad Pitt in the F1 movie. Make some noise for Daniel Calderon in Scanner! Up next in that big, sexy, custom 3D World body, it's got a 575 under the hood with 1,500 horsepower. He's sponsored by Safety Clean and Walker Filtration out of San Jose, Costa Rica. Ladies and gentlemen, Stanley Hernandez and Lone Wolf. Cliff Turn, Kamikaze. How about run of your own, Sonoma County? This young man's from Cloverdale in the 2014 Silverado with a 540 Chevy underneath. Healdsburg Collision, Bolsonaro, and Turbo Gear are his sponsors. This young man started at 5 years old and is continuing to push his career to do the best. Make some noise for 17-year-old Shane Plato in fourth. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Liberty, Texas, make some noise for Preston Collins in the Velociraptor. All the way from Irishburg, Vermont, make some noise for Rob Putre in USA 1. Let's see what he's got up his sleeve, ladies and gentlemen. Cheer this kid on. This is the future of our sport, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, Bryce, buddy, you got this. Oh, trying to hit it up on the front too. Hauls tail on anything he drives.
All right, show 1 is finished, and then pretty good show, but it was good though, and I had to start going down there, and then you know, check on everything, and off to show 2. Okay, I had to wrap up because you know, I had to start working the trucks, and ready for show number 2. And thank you for watching, and like and subscribe, and see you all in show 2.